Happy Epiphany! Epiphany is sort of a overlooked but definitely important feast in the church year, and it's one that is full of traditions. We call it Epiphany, named for the epiphanies we discover during this time, but you may also know it as Three Kings Day, to celebrate the arrival of the three wise men or the three kings to visit Jesus. Around the world, this day is marked with feasting, celebrations, parties, and gatherings. In England, this 12th day of Christmas is called the 12th night. It's a time for parties and bonfires. If you've ever been a part of a church that has an annual Christmas bonfire on Epiphany with all your old Christmas trees, that tradition might have come from there. If you're more familiar with the traditions of France or Louisiana, then this season of Epiphany officially marks the beginning of Mardi Gras. From tonight up until Shrove or Fat Tuesday, there will be celebrations and parties, joyfully celebrating the Epiphany season with king cake and all the other goodies that one might give up during Lent. So sugar, butter, milk, eggs, all the good stuff. Here at St. James, we mark Epiphany with a service, you're here tonight, and by finally joining the wise men of our creche in the manger scene. I mean, they've been journeying after all, and they've only now just arrived. They came up during the Christmas pageant. You saw them come then, but really they don't get there till a little bit later. We're celebrating their arrival tonight. And also tonight, we'll bless some chalk for you to bring home and chalk your doors to mark our homes this year. Chalking over the door and the blessing of the home is kind of a mixed tradition. As with many traditions that have come from long ago, they sort of depend on the meaning based on who you ask. Tonight, we'll bless this chalk that you'll see in a minute and take it home, and you'll write 20 plus C plus M plus B plus 26 across the door of your home. The 20 and the 26 are pretty straightforward. You're writing the new year, 2026, and marking your home as a place to be blessed by Christ's presence. The C plus M plus B, however, you have some options. Either you'll write those letters to stand for the initials of the three wise men who visited the baby Jesus, Casper, Melchior, and Balthazar, or if you're not sold on that, those aren't in the Bible, those are the names that we have received as tradition, then you can choose to write those same letters, CMB, to stand for the Latin Christus Mansionem Benedictat, which means, may Christ bless this house. Either way, it's a tribute to the first people to make this pilgrimage to meet Jesus. It's an invitation for Christ's blessing, and by writing it on your doorway, you invite God into your home. You'll be marking your home as a place where the Christ child is welcome. I have to say, I love that we do this right after Christmas. Right when the tree comes down, the lights get put away, our house feels a little bare and empty. We write on our doors and we say in our hearts, Christ is welcome here. Lord, bless this house. Tonight, we have gathered to celebrate the Epiphany, to celebrate the Magi's visit to the Christ child. But it's not so much the arrival that's exciting here. No, we're celebrating the Epiphany, this moment of realization, of awe and wonder of meeting Jesus. So let's just take a moment and sit in this moment of Epiphany. These wise men have come a very long way, navigating by the light of a star. We don't really know how long it took them. Traditions have them from coming all over the world, but months is likely, perhaps a year. Every day, waiting. Every night, walking, following, wondering. Would you persist? Following a rumor, a hope, a star? What faith. And then, after months, the star stops. The journey has ended. Time has passed. Jesus and Mary and Joseph have returned home. They're no longer in the manger. So when they visit, they meet Jesus in an ordinary house. And they didn't send ahead to say they were on their way. They just showed up at the door. Again, an act of trust. I wonder if following the star across the sky was easier than knocking on a stranger's door in the middle of the night. But when they do, they encounter God face to face. There are a lot of stories in the Bible where I wish we got more details. What is this moment like? A baby, no longer an infant, but a baby, at home on a normal night. First-time parents figuring it out in Nazareth 2,000 years ago. In a normal family home, maybe they were having dinner, and then a knock at the door. 3 strangers with gifts to meet the child. This Jesus, all of God, impossibly in human form. But this ordinary scene didn't seem to deter the Magi one bit. They'd been traveling for months with gifts for a king. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And so that's what they bring to kings these days. They knew who the baby Jesus was, and they were not fooled by the normalcy of his home and life to forget it. This is the Epiphany. In that moment, in that encounter, ordinary and extraordinary, they're given the eyes of God to see through it all and see what God sees. Jesus, the Christ, the Messiah, the King, right there in baby form, right in front of their eyes. And this epiphany, this light bulb moment, it changed everything. We don't know how long they stayed, how much time they spent with Jesus, but we know at least it was one night because they have a dream. And in that dream, they receive a warning. Don't tell Herod. You will recall they were under direct orders to tell Herod from himself. And yet, God interrupts. They're told to disobey the king, and they do it. How clear would God have to be to tell you something in a dream that you would go against the scariest person you've ever met? That is the confidence they have in Jesus after their encounter with him. Whatever they saw, whatever they encountered, they're willing to risk it all to protect it. They are sure enough to walk for months, to listen to a dream to go against the king. That's some epiphany. Today we mark the end of their journey, but it's just the beginning of ours. We begin this whole season of Epiphany tonight, and we'll stay here until Ash Wednesday when we begin Lent. In this Epiphany season, we too follow the star, follow an impossible hope and promise that God is with us, even now. We are all setting out on a journey starting tonight. Like the Magi, we're going out into the world to look for Christ. Maybe some of us will get stars, maybe some of us will get dreams, but most of us will set out in faith into the dark, into the unknown, looking for Christ. And like the Magi, we will likely find him not in a palace or a fancy office, but dwelling in an ordinary place, in our homes, in our hearts, in the great unknown. May we all find Christ this Epiphany season. Amen.
Thanks for tuning in to listen to sermons from St. James Parish. Please like and subscribe for more great content and reflections from our community.